Just let it happen. Okay, remove. All right. All right, man, we're in. We're live, man. Thanks for joining me, Phil.
Thanks for having me. It's an absolute privilege, I suppose, and an honour to be here tonight.
Just before we get started, we'll just get a few people here before we start, bro.
Yeah,
But how you been? You been all right?
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's been a good day. Cooped up at home, but just keeping myself busy. So little things happening at home, which I probably don't get to do outside of this time.
All right, bro. We'll get into this, eh?
Yeah,
so thanks for everyone for joining me. I'm with one of my good friends, and we actually started at Bodytorque at the same time. About 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, we started at the same time, and we've become great mates, and he's also now one of my trainers. And someone I would often turn to for advice around nutrition and training and, all different types of stuff. So while we're all in here, if we can just hit the share button. And yeah, thanks for joining me. I'm trying to figure out what different times to come on live. And I thought 8:30 might be a good time. It's sort of the day's at an end. The kids are asleep. Well, my young one's just gone to sleep, thank goodness. He wakes up at like 5:30, 5:45, and does not go down until 8:30. It's full on, man. But Phil, brother, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, man?
Yeah, I probably won't go into like too much history or detail, but I guess always start from where I'm from. I mean, ko Piripi Aho or Phil Aho, aka Philfit. No Hokianga Aho, so no Hokianga Whakapau Karaki Aho. That's where I'm from, in the far north. Ko Te Rarawa me ngā pui oku iwi. And no Henderson Aho e noho ana. That's where I live. I live in Henderson. And I guess I've been in the fitness industry for my 12th year, I guess. So quite a long time. Yeah.
Hey, Phil, sorry, man. Before we really get stuck into it, I think you wanted to. Well, we should have a quick karakia. I think if you can lead that for us.
Yep, I'd love to do that. Okay, it's probably a tikanga that our Māori people have done for many generations, and we do that prior to a meeting or a hui. So, a kinoi tātou, he honore, he kororea ki te atua, he maunga rongo ki te whenua, he whakaro pai ki ngā tangata katoa, hangai e te atua he ngākau hau, ki roto ki tēnā o mātou, whakatongia tō wairua tapu, hei awhina, hei tui a mātou, hei ako hoki i ngā mahi, ki roto i tēnei whānau. Āmine.
Āmine. Yeah. So you've been learning te reo, eh, bro? How's that all going?
Oh, just loving it all. It's an amazing journey. Yeah, it's step by step, day by day, brick by brick, so to speak, all the cliches around it. Yeah.
What made you go back and learn it, bro? Because I know it's something that I wanted to do. My wife Corinne's doing it. What's made you want to go back?
I feel a yearning for home, I suppose. Yearning for home, and I guess it all started from when it's been on my thoughts for a long time. But now I really believe it's an essential part of my journey, my hauora journey, or my health and wellness journey now is to learn the language of my tupuna or my ancestors, and then as part of my overall well-being.
Yeah.
Yes.
And bro, whereabouts are you from originally?
I spent the first half of my life in Tamaki, so probably up until my intermediate years, and then we all moved back up to the Hokianga, a little place called Mutakaraka, and I lived up there with my whānau for can't remember how long, but quite a long time. Went to kura up there, went to school up there, immersed myself in our ways of our Māori people, and it's kind of where I sort of spent that part of my life, and then I moved back down to Tamaki Makaurau for work or mahi, and so I guess that's my short abbreviated version or upbringing, but it was something I sort of took for granted a little bit. So I'm at that point in my life now where I just want to reconnect and with whānau and our reo, and that's a starting point for me. Yeah.
Awesome, bro. It's something that I'm wanting to do as well, you know. Just got to stop making excuses and get it done. Brother, so we started at Bodytorque back in 2014 around the same time. So for those of us who are not familiar with our journey, Bodytorque is a place where I went to. I turned up and I got taken there actually by DJ Reminisce, or Jacob. He's friends with Mark Hunt, and Alex Flint was training Mark Hunt. And it was just after my first fight. And Jacob said, "Oh, you should come and train at this place where Mark Hunt's training." So he asked if I could come. Mark said, "Yep." And because I had a little bit of a bad reputation in terms of my boxing character, but I turned up there and I was about 170 kilos, and man, it was hard training. It was, but I felt welcome, and I felt safe. Which was rare in a gym. And the only other place I really experienced that was at my other gym that I went to when I first started with PJ and Amanda at Habitat for Fitness. So I was going to Habitat for Fitness and then Bodytorque, and also at Boxing Out Super City. But there is where those gyms like Habitat and Bodytorque, I'd always watch what you guys are doing, and obviously just the training was just next level. But I never felt like I wasn't welcome. I never felt like I was being judged, and I just loved the vibe and the community vibe. And even though, the demographic was not my people, it was in Newmarket. I'm from South Auckland, but I just felt there was no judgments. So when I then eventually went into my own stuff and I remember my first boot camps I was running, I'd actually go onto the Bodytorque Facebook page and watch sessions and just write it down. All right, okay, yep. 20 seconds of frogs. Oh, yep. And, just writing down formats. That's how actually I put together my first few sets. But it wasn't the exercise I really got from Bodytorque. It was the vibe, the culture.
Oh, 100%.
And that's what I always credit Alex and Matt, and all the team at Bodytorque. And you've just come on now for that. And I was really proud when that session. Remember that session that you guys all came out, all the Bodytorque crew came out to in Mangere, and we did a session. I was really proud, and I said that to everyone, that the vibe that we have at BBM, I got the idea from Bodytorque. And what did you think of when you first turned up? Because we turned up at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I had obviously quite a different sort of. I was at a different stage, or different spectrums, so to speak. But exactly the same as you. Like even though the training was hard, I don't know. We just felt like there was a sense of whanaungatanga about or connection, or I know that we weren't ever being judged, or we were always encouraged just to do our best, whatever that represented for whoever that was. There was a camaraderie, or we got on really, really well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which it just had a like an avalanche sort of effect, and everyone started to snowball. But I guess I mean, it was amazing. Like looking back, and I remember what you used to be like. It was just, I look at you now and I'm just like, did that really happen? But it's also like amazing to sort of be a part of it, even though indirectly, so to speak, just through community spirit, through helping each other out, through getting each other through those tough times or those challenging times. And yeah, like you say, the vibe and it was incredible. It is incredible. Yeah.
And bro, you were a trainer before this. Were you all training at Les Mills? You were a trainer at Les Mills. Why, when you came to Bodytorque, were you already a trainer there, PT?
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
that's where I would see you. I was training sometimes at Les Mills with Mark Bedford. Later in my boxing career, I trained there. It was all paid for, thank goodness, by Duco. But what made you leave Les Mills to then now take that leap and come to Bodytorque and work there full time?
Like, without trying to I owe a lot to Les Mills. So many, reasons. I basically learned everything I knew from Les Mills, and it was a wonderful environment. I just felt like my family was Bodytorque. I felt they were the ones that, I just enjoyed turning up and being around. Yeah. Just it's kind of like our Māori way anyway. We love Maungatanga. We love being around people who encourage you or are positive in that regard.
Yeah.
It
doesn't feel like a gym, eh? It doesn't feel like a gym.
Nah, not at all.
It's a community group. That's what it feels like,
100%, yeah. So I guess that's the reason why. And I mean, Alex Flint, like you mentioned, and Matt Henderson, just made a massive difference in my life. Taught me so much, and basically, well, I suppose to look back on it, I played 10 or so years of senior men's cricket at a reasonably good level, but it took its toll on my body after a while. Spent being a fast bowler, or well, people out there will go, but in my mind, I was a fast bowler.
I was a spin bowler. Player of the year for Selwyn College.
I've heard the stories. Yeah.
So Dave Higgins was very angry that day when I got player of the year.
It was a great story, that one where he's turned around and smashed the stumps at the back.
Yeah, our cricket games. Well, that where what's that hit and run? That cricket game, hit and run, where you hit and you got to our one was literally hit and run.
Hit and running out of here.
Yeah. Hey, bro. So look, it must be pretty awesome for you being around since the beginning of my journey, sort of me just finding my way, then to now see the impact that we're having for our people, Māori PI. What's that been like to watch from the outside, bro? Because you were on the outside, but now you're right there.
It's been massive, man. It's the main reason why I got into the fitness industry in the first place. A lot of people don't know, but one of my uncles passed away, and and a lot of it for our people's lifestyle related, disease, cardiovascular disease, etc. And I just remember sitting, it was happening often with our whānau, at a young age, at a very, very young age. And I was like, is this it? Like, is this how it's going to be for our people? Like, and I just remember sitting in the back of my cousin's car, just bawling my eyes out, just going, that enough. Like, I want to make a difference to our people, or just to teach our people that there is another path that you can go down. That there are other ways that you can live your life that doesn't necessarily lead, down to an early life, So, and then I don't know if I necessarily had the tools, or I had, I don't know if that's the right word, but so to watch what you've done from day dot with BBM, it's kind of been such an inspirational. It's been inspiring from someone like myself, from that background, and to see what it's become today is just, it's just phenomenal, and it really warms my heart, and to actually to have played a role, what significance it has been. It's been amazing.
Yeah, well, man, you guys, yourself, Alex, and Matt, and it's just you and Alex there at the gym now, but play huge role, especially in the nutrition part of what we do at BBM. A big role there. What I realized is that you've got to surround yourself with good people and people that know stuff. If you're weak in a particular area, you've got to surround yourself with people that are strong. And one of the areas that you guys are very strong in my what I think is definitely nutrition. So a lot of what I'm teaching in BBM is what I've learned from you guys. How important, bro, is nutrition? Let's really get down to it, because a lot of our people, once we start training, we really enjoy it, the social side of it, right? But then we also enjoy the social side of going and eating rubbish and drinking rubbish. How important can you achieve really good results while eating rubbish and training really hard?
It's a slippery slope. I'm going to have to say no on that, just from a straight up perspective. And it's kind of one of the other reasons why I decided to leave Les Mills too, because Bodytorque wasn't just a gym that sold workouts. We actually give people the necessary tools and education to make this, I guess, part of a lifestyle that they can continue to get results. Not just focusing on training as their modality, making sure that the right nutrition, and it can be quite a complex topic, but I guess if you're willing to learn it and understand it, and more importantly, apply it, then you're going to really reap the rewards that exercise and training has to offer. Yeah.
I remember, because, that's another thing I got from you guys is the importance of rest. So, I got our nutrition's, a lot of the ideas of what I teach, the theories of what I teach comes from you guys and me practicing it and then tweaking it to suit, our people and with our budgets. But then also around the rest, because, yourself that I would just go, just train, never really resting, train at Bodytorque, go and train really hard at BBM, and then never really achieve anything. I'd get to a certain point, but I could never really pass that in terms of my results. And I was always feeling just wrecked. I never feel the benefits of training. You think, oh man, I'm training all this time. Why do I feel like crap? So how important is rest through all of this?
Well, your body's response to exercise is only going to be as good as it's how well it's recovered from that exercise. Especially the harder intensity style training in particular.
Yeah.
And when we think of rest, it's not just necessarily just sitting down and just not doing anything. There's many forms of rest. Especially if you're someone who does like to train every day still. Okay, then you need to find some form of active rest, whether it's just going for a walk or whether it's doing some sort of movement-based recovery, whether it's, I don't know, spending some time in a sauna or a spa or whatever that may be, but which is allowing your body to repair, repair, and then that's when your body is going to adapt to that training stimulus that you're.
Because I remember you guys, Alex really broke it down to me, because he was always on to me about my training too much, overtraining. And what he'd say to me was, if you got your level here of where your body's at, you smash it in training and you go down a bit. Okay. You smash it again, you go down more. Smash it again, you go down more. If you never allow yourself to rest, you'll never really get even back to even keel, right?
That's right.
So if you train hard, smash it, then repair, and you come your normal level goes a little bit higher, right?
That's right. Yeah. once again, it's sort of, and it also depends on what sort of training you're doing as well, and where you're sort of.
We train hard.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I guess if you do like to train hard, that means matching your nutrition to that is integral.
Yeah.
Secondly, asking yourself why there's this need to want to train hard or really smash yourself.
What do you find that? What do you find is the most common thing for that? Because that's something I struggle with.
Quite often what I've seen, that reason why a lot of people tend to want to train hard or really smash themselves, it's like there's underlying habits, or there's something that's going on that's with them. That's one of the common things I see with a lot of people is they're trying to out-train habits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or they're trying to run away from something, or they're trying to use training as a tool to mask over what's going on with their daily habits. You know what I mean? And exercises really shouldn't be used as that tool. Exercise is an expression of what the body can do. So that's where I see that sort of mentality come from.
So that's, I've heard you guys talk about it before, where, we might go out and have a big night, or we've gone and eaten a whole heap of stuff. And then so especially with alcohol, so you might have gone and had a good big night, and you come and you feel like you have to smash it the next day, when really that's counterproductive, eh? Really you just need a rest and get your body recovered.
Yeah. Well, it's not even just from the physiological point of view. It's that mental, that adopting that mindset that I have to out-train what I've just my body, and this creates this negative cycle of using exercise in a way that is not healthy. It's I'm not saying that you don't train, but why are you training? Are you training because you had a big night out?
Yeah.
Because you drank alcohol and you need to have this feeling like you need to burn it off. Why are Mondays the busiest day in the gym? Why are people smashing themselves on the Monday?
I think a lot of the times too is like what I've found is that the harder I train, the more I feel like I earn the right to have McDonald's or a peanuts. It's up here, eh? It's all in our head. So I'll have a really hard training session at Bodytorque or BBM, both. And then I'll be driving home, I'll get some petrol, and then I'll think, you've trained hard. This is the voice inside my head, that bloody little devil that sits on your shoulder sometimes. Dave, you deserve it. You've trained hard. What's a peanut slab going to do? Come on. You've burnt 100 peanut slabs today. Just have it. Then that one peanut slab turns into two because they're always on special, 2 for $5. And then you end up that same principle, applying that to McDonald's or Burger Fuel or whatever it is, right? You're just thinking you've earned it. So, and then that becomes why you train hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And then this whole cycle or this mentality, for me, training is a way to improve. It's a way to get better, to perfect your craft or your art, or, I definitely agree with that whole using it as a tool to out-train, whether it's poor nutrition habits or whether it's whatever behaviors that go on in your life, 2 for $5.
Yeah, at BP and Newmarket, they're always on bloody special, 2 for $5. And just, what's up, Alex? So I'm interviewing Alex, I think, on Saturday at 4 p.m. So make sure we tune in there. But we also had a comment here: food is medicine, is thy medicine. And it can be, it is. But it's the types of food that you're eating. So that's where what we're trying to focus on here. Yeah, good food, definitely. Food is medicine. What's your thoughts on that, Phil?
Now, I had a bit of a thought process about this today, but when I think of food and I think of nutrition, straight away I think of there's a lot of information and a lot of
Robbie?
Contradictions and confusion out there when it comes to nutrition.
Yeah.
The most important thing when it comes to nutrition is having a why that's strong enough for you to start to make better decisions with food.
So let's go back. Repeat that again, bro. Repeat that again. That's very powerful.
We at Bodytorque, we have this base or a pyramid of priority when it comes to, we call it our nutrition pyramid. Okay. Funny enough, macros and micronutrients are at the top of the pyramid. Right down the bottom is your why, and your why is the centerpiece or the most important part of you making sure that you're going to start to improve your nutrition, your nutrition, etc. If this isn't where it needs to be, then it's something that you need to prioritize and work on first. If it's strong enough, then your likelihood to start to implement nutrition. There's no shortage of information out there. You know, we're bombarded with so much. For example, I looked on the Countdown website. They had amazing, delicious, healthy recipes that were just so many of them. We have the information, we have the knowledge out there, but the missing link to applying this knowledge, because at the end of the day, knowledge without application is only knowledge.
Yeah. Okay? You've got Jared here.
Hey, Jared.
I totally feel that little voice, like how you said you were trying to out-train our habits. Nice having a why to navigate your nutrition process.
I totally agree. And if that why, if you can really lock in that why, understand its importance, that's when you're empowered, or you have the power to start to implement or start to make good nutrition choices.
And it sounds really airy-fairy. Hey, you got to find your why, find your purpose. And it might sound airy-fairy, but trust me, it works. You know, very early in my journey, I might not have known that it was my why in terms of the word why, but as I got more educated into what I was doing, I realized, yes, it is my why. My why was my children. My why is my people. My why is my group BBM, my family, my wife. You know, that's all. And your whys can change, you know. But the way I talk about finding a why, finding what your why is, because for some people, you say, what's your why? They can't figure it out. They don't know. You know, say something off the top of their head, but it's not going to stop them from doing something they're not supposed to do. It's not going to get them back on the wagon. For me, I get my team to write down a few meaningful things on a piece of paper, something that really means a lot to them. And then from that, choose one or two, and it should be quite hard. And it's also understanding, Phil, that your why is not going to work all the time because no one's perfect, you know, but it should always get you back on the wagon, right? You know, that why should always be strong enough to get you back on the wagon.
Absolutely. It's funny because we encourage our clients or our members to write down a list of 50 whys, you know, and 50 reasons why it's important for you to change. And when they start off, the first 15 to 20, is easy. And then all of a sudden, when you get past 30, it becomes harder and harder and harder. And that's when you start to really find out your purpose or what your reason is, why you're wanting to change, why you're wanting to improve your health or your lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that's a little task.
And it can be a whole range of things, you know. It doesn't always have to be that really meaningful, real deep thing. For me, sometimes, you know, if I don't want to go do something in the morning, it might just be, I'll have a nice porridge and a protein shake after, you know, and that's enough to get me up. You know what I mean? So it's whatever works.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, and it does evolve too. Like, you know, it's not something that is set in stone. Quite often, as you go through a journey, or you know, it does change. It does shift in different directions. Like mine, for example, I got to a point where I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. My why is different now. It's moving. I'm working on other aspects of my life that makes the whole, you know, that forms the whole. call it the 4 pillars, you know, your wairua, your hinengaro, your tinana, you know, all those pillars really shape who you are and that overall viewpoint, you know.
And if one of them's if one of them's not right, it affects everything. Hey, so it's trying to get all those 4 pillars in place and get them strong. That's awesome, bro. Brother, now I just want to talk about a lot of people are struggling in this isolation in terms of eating.
Yes.
Now, the first thing I want to say is some people, I mean, it's myself, you know, I'm not, it's perfect because there's no takeaways open and it is hard to go to the supermarket in dairy. So it's perfect. But when we do go supermarkets, like I have gotten a few, you know, like some biscuits or something like that. And there's some people I've spoken to who are feeling quite down about it, you know, that their eating's gone. And, you know, we're in isolation, so we can't go do our normal things. What would you say to someone out there who's not feeling the best because of, you know, with the eating, that the way they're eating in lockdown?
I think you need to be kind to yourself first and foremost.
Yeah.
You need to give yourself a break. Far too often we think that this nutrition journey is about being perfect and about being perfect 100% of the time. Unfortunately, I know for the perfectionists out there that may not want to hear this, it's a sure way to crash and burn and end up way down the other end of the scale. You just need to focus on what your next decision is going to be.
Yeah.
You know, that's as simple as just putting one foot in front of the other. I know, once again, it is a cliche, but it is one that, and it's a series of putting the next foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
You know, what to do comes from why you want to do it.
Yeah. And like you're saying, to be kind to yourself, it's so true, because especially at the moment, you know, we're already going through this drama. It's already hard. For me, this is what I'm doing, and I'm encouraging our members, is to not worry about weighing yourself, to not add that extra pressure and that extra stress onto you, but still focus on doing the best you can with your eating. Okay, there's no takeaways open, so you just wipe them out, which is amazing. You know what I mean? And trying to keep into that routine, and not putting the pressure on yourself, and just trying to get through this lockdown the best that you can. You know, but at least you're going to come out. You're not going to be depressed, because it's already hard enough. So not putting that pressure. Is that good advice, do you think?
Yeah, I do think so. To a certain degree, I do think you need to try to get yourself to a point where you're thinking about this as an opportunity, or looking at it from an optimistic point of view, where, okay, normally I wouldn't be preparing my meals, or normally I wouldn't be in a position to spend some time in the kitchen, or to do things that I've never done before.
Yeah.
Maybe if you look at it as an opportunity to learn some new skills. And I guess where the starting point can be is literally, what I tend to encourage people to do is sit down and put a plan together. Yeah.
So I want to talk about that, bro. But before we do, just get everyone to hit the share button. And also, if you can answer this question by Lukey. So Lukey Johnson, for those who don't know and haven't followed us, Luke's actually lost around 80 kilos.
Yeah.
He lost around 80 kilos, a patched BBM member. But he's one of my closest friends. Went to his wedding, him and Shelby's wedding. We all were there. A beautiful occasion. He's asked here, what is your favorite healthy meal?
Oh man, I've got heaps. I love salmon in so many different ways. Roasted with root vegetables would have to be my favorite. So root vegetables will be beets, carrots, kumara, pumpkin, just heaps of different types of that with salmon. That would have to be my favorite one out of everything. Yeah.
Salmon with root, that sounds very, very healthy. My one would be steak and veggies. My favorite healthy meal. It's it can't be a good steak. Hey, brother,
expensive at the moment though.
yeah. That's what I want to do. So let's talk about two things. First, making a plan, and then also I want to talk about, because you're very good at meal prepping, and also meal prepping, to keep to a budget, which I think we all have to do at the moment, or all the time anyway.
Yeah.
Making a plan, bro. Talk us through some real quick tips on how to make a plan. So we got a weekly food plan or weekly meal plan, whatever that is.
Okay, so
get your pen and pads ready, guys. You need to be writing the stuff down.
Okay, so firstly, you need to have a long-term mentality to this. Okay,
yeah.
You need to think about this as, I need to adopt this. I need to be learning this over a period of time. Okay, if you do have that mindset or that mentality straight off the bat, then you start picking at it bit by bit, brick by brick. So a simple way that is you need to add tools to your arsenal. You need to develop a library of foods that you enjoy. So, for example, to try to not put too much pressure on yourself on learning it all at once. Once again, you're adopting that long-term mentality. Secondly, you may pick only 1 or 2 recipes per week, 1 or 2. That makes sense.
Yeah, you don't have to have too much variety, and try and make it too complicated and have to go out and buy all the shopping. When I first started, bro, I kept it very, very basic.
I think so, right? There's some basic philosophies that you need to have on your mind, though. Okay, you need to be consuming enough vegetables and a good amount of fruit, a small amount of fruit. You need to be having enough protein in your diet daily. I'm not talking about something you do sporadically. I'm talking about daily. So from these fundamentals of having enough vegetables and fruit, because that provides you with vitamins and minerals, nutrients that your body needs. Protein is the building blocks. It's the foundation. It's satiety. It's hanging on. It's prevention of muscle loss, which is integral. The older you get, you lose muscle rapidly. Having enough protein.
Oh, yeah. I know that feeling.
Yeah, having enough protein. So if you've got these core fundamentals around, then it's easier for you to sit down and write down, or it's easier for you to sit down and write down a recipe or a couple of recipes that you can go create a shopping list with to go and buy. And then whatever else happens outside of that is, I guess.
So we've got the long-term mentality, 1 or 2 recipes and some principles, and you've got veggies, fruit, and protein. So if I'm looking at a plate and I'm looking at making my meal, okay, so let's go fist sizes of veggies. I know that's what we do. Yep. How many fist sizes of veggies should we have? Let's break down a plate, bro, so people can write this down.
Okay, so if we're talking about, there's so many ways you can attack this. So what we encourage people to do is try to have 4 to 6 cups of veggies per day, every day. However, quite a lot of people fall far short of the mark there. So rather than thinking about weighing food, once again using that fist as a measuring point, if you're having. So in order for me, for example, I might just want to have 2 meals a day that I have 2 to 3 cups of vegetables. That ticks my box. So it could be lunch. It's as simple as it needs to be.
Yeah.
Protein, once again, we're aiming to have for 1 to 2 palm size, roughly. If you're a male, you're wanting to have 2 of protein.
Phil, so that's 2 palm sizes, right? But that doesn't mean you can have mountain size on your plate, right? So in terms of thickness, because you got 1 or 2 palm sizes. That's the palm there, right? The palm, but only the palm thickness as well.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah.
So sorry, guys, that doesn't mean you just the space on your plate. It's also the thickness of what you're having too.
Yeah.
And bro, fruit.
Yes.
Fruit, like, should I don't know about fruit. I don't know much about it, to be honest. I'm thinking, do I have it? Do I not? People ask me, can I have this? Can I have that? What's the guideline on fruit?
Fruit's health, fruits, vitamins, minerals, things that your body needs to function well, to perform well. You need it. You can't, just make sure you know how much you need. It's easy for you to consume a whole massive bowl of fruit easily, you know what I mean? And then realize that you probably overshooting the mark in terms of your calorie intake. But if you just stick to the principles of 2 to 3 servings a day, mainly I have 3 personally, I'm a male, but.
So what's your 3 servings? What do you have?
I have berries.
Yeah.
Frozen berries. I love apples, always love apples. And mandarins and oranges. I just think they're just, simple staples, and
we've got this question here, bro. What's a good substitute for fruits on a daily for someone who doesn't like fruits unless it's watermelon? Is there a substitute for fruit? Or do you have to just eat it?
Wow, I've never actually come across that question before. I suppose you can take a multivitamin supplement that's going to give you the vitamins that you've been missing out from fruit.
Yeah,
that's an option, and then just make sure you're having enough vegetables in your daily nutrition. Yeah.
Do you have to have
varieties as well, of different varieties too? Yeah.
Do you have to? So I was just going to ask, bro. Do you have to have a wide selection of variety when you're having veggies? Because I'm useless, and I'll just get if Korean's not cooking. We've been having really great meals through this isolation, but normally if it's me and I'm prepping something, I'll just have meat. I don't care what it tastes like, whether it's seasoned or not, and then I just get a bag of spinach and I start loading my plate up with spinach. Is that okay, or are you meant to have more variety than that?
Definitely no right or wrong with this. What we try to teach people is to, as Alex has popped up.
What does that mean? What does that mean? The abundance mentality. What's that?
So when we talk about eating in abundance, we're talking about eating, an abundance of different varieties and styles of vegetables that promote fullness. For example, if you're just having lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumber, unfortunately, that's just not what our term of eating abundance is. I mean, if you think about everything that has color, texture, is, for example, if you incorporate some form of legumes into your daily salads, etc., or vegetables, root vegetables, just try to create as much into what you're having with your vegetable intake as you possibly can. That really eliminates the risk of you, the risk of you over consuming other types of food that will just, that will not make you feel full or create that satiety, I suppose. So that's what we call eating in abundance.
Yeah. Also, we'll go over that with Alex again tomorrow. This is the common question. How many bananas a day is good? I guess it just depends, I guess, does it? But in general, because everyone loves a banana.
How many bananas a day is good? Well, that sort of question is kind of
so for someone like me, let's do it just so we, because I guess it depends on your activity level, how big you are, all that type of stuff. And for someone like me who's a muscle bound rock like figure, how many bananas should I eat? I'd suggest, like, after a workout is always going to be a really good time to consume a banana, because it gives you an immediate hit of blood sugars, right? So
really cranks you up. So post-workout's a really good time to have bananas. But it's, it's one of those things, what else is going on, like what else are you eating? Like, I mean, you'd get away with a couple of bananas, I'd suggest, after a workout, Dave, but
yeah.
I guess when someone asks that sort of question, it sort of begs me to ask, what else are they eating, or what are they doing? In other words, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are they eating enough protein? Are they getting enough vegetables into their diet? And then sort of thing. I went plant-based. Best thing I did in 6 weeks. I lost weight, lowered blood pressure, came off top 2. Awesome. Love that.
Plant-based. We've got Rob. We've got Rob, another one of our good friends, Bodytorque member, BBM Life member. He's gone full on vegan. What's your opinion on this? I mean, obviously works, right?
Look, I don't have anything against any approach, as long as you're giving your body what it needs. Okay, as long as you're giving your body enough minerals, nutrients, whether it's from vegetables, as long as your body is getting what it needs to, I guess, to function well, to have energy, to do what you need to do on a day-to-day basis, then whatever approach that looks like for you, I mean, it's always going to be a healthier option. If it's going to mean that you're going to eat more vegetables and fruit, then it's a go from me. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess here we've got Vanessa, one of our team leaders, amazing team leaders. I'm allergic to bananas. What's a good replacement? You should just saying there, more veggies. Hey, more veggies.
I mean, there's so much. There's a spectrum of different types of foods that are going to have a similar effect. I mean, pineapples, things like that. Depends on how, like, how is it being used? I mean, once again, it's a leading question to work out what else are you eating, what else is going on. Like,
so I think these would be good, for these people who are maybe to come and join Bodytorque, and come and get a consult there. I think that'll be a good option. I think because as I said, guys, Bodytorque have taught me a lot, and a lot of what we teach at BBM, a lot of what I teach from the couch members has come from what I've learned from Alex, Phil, and Matt, and the team at Bodytorque. So, bro, just quickly back to this meal plan, okay? So, if we're constructing a meal plan, let's just keep it really basic. So, you got your 3 main meals, your breakfast, lunch, dinner, right? You'd look at each of those 3 main meals with your veggies and your protein and your good fats. A couple of thumbs of good fats for a male, right?
Yep.
So then you add in what you add in between there? You'd add in what, some like snacks, some fruit, some nuts, that type of stuff.
Yeah. So whatever gets you to achieve that 4 to 6 cups of veggies a day, or your 2 to 3 servings of protein a day. However you put that together, we just sort of have to start to work out. Some people like to have snacks in between. It might be, you might have a protein shake and a piece of fruit or something like that.
Yeah.
But your lunch, your dinners, your breakfast, if you can sit down and just figure out what you like to eat. What about nuts, Phil? Is that from Rob?
Good. Yeah, from Rob. So, I mean, I love cashews, but nuts you've got to be careful with, right? They are quite high in calories.
Yeah. I was going to say that. I mean, just when someone asks that, I just think, as long as you're aware of the calorie intake that you're going to get from nuts, quite often, a decent sized serving of nuts can be equivalent to having a whole meal. Okay, the meal's going to fill you up and the nuts aren't. So your likelihood that you're going to overconsume is you're not getting satiety, you're not getting the right nutrients, etc. So in other words, just become a little bit more calorie aware when it comes to, or being aware of how much nuts you have. Hence the reason why we have these rules of a 2 thumb of fats per meal for a male, etc. And we have these basic principles of meal construction that we teach people to do. Yeah.
Because the nuts they're good fats, right? So you're saying only a couple of thumbs.
Yeah, totally.
In a meal, because you can sit down and easily polish a whole packet of bloody cashews off. Eh?
Yeah.
Easy. So there we've got the makeup of a meal, and for everyone that's just watching this, you can always come back and it'll be on the page there, and you come back. And also, go and check out Bodytorque, a great gym there, and you'll get to train with the likes of Phil, Rob, myself, underneath the tutelage of Alex, and also Matt. Sorry, not Matt, Phil. So, bro, what I want to get about, just to finish off with, is meal prep through this isolation. What's some ideas, bro? Give us some ideas. We're in isolation. It's hard to go shopping. It's bloody expensive. What can we do?
Okay, so we've figured out. So we've sat down. Okay, we've sat down. If you're gonna meal prep at home, you need to sort of cook in a large. Well, personally, what I do is I tend to cook in a bulk. Now, what does that mean?
Let's talk about what you do. Let's talk about what you do, and then people can relate to it.
Right, I have this electric frying pan that's about that big. Any dish that I create, I cook, or my recipes that I come up with, and I've got a list of about 12 to sort of 15 that I've learned over a period of time that I just rotate through. Basically, are all around making sure that whatever I cook gives me 4 to 6, maybe even more servings than that. Minimum of 4 servings per recipe or per dish that I make up, which means I'll have some for tomorrow, the next day. So the likelihood that I'm going to make better decisions consistently is a lot higher. And then I might have 2 of those that I rotate through. Okay, once again, it's going to be a lot more cost effective for you, all right? Because you're able to spread those meals over a number of days.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, the ingredients that you do purchase when you're eating more vegetables and protein are going to be a lot cheaper anyway. If you're doing the majority of your shopping on the perimeter of the supermarket, then the likelihood is you're not going to be spending as much if you buy the majority of your shopping from the middle lanes.
Oh man, that's my problem. That's my problem, bro. I'm going up every aisle, sometimes 2-3 times.
Once again, it's not to say that you shouldn't go up the other aisles, right? But as long as you're trying to get as much from produce as you can, and then that just makes it a lot cheaper.
What's your go-to recipes at the moment, bro? In isolation, what's your go-to?
I love mince. I make the best chili con carne, and I just stack it full of legumes, vegetables, and I just put it all together. And I love having it on toast.
Bro, toast. People are scared of bread, and it's something we steer people away from. But we also understand that it is people are doing it tough. So we often get donated a lot of bread, so we give it out. What's your thoughts on bread?
I go back to trying to make as many good decisions as you can. If you are trying to get your allocated protein and vegetable targets each day, if you consume a bit of bread on top of that, then so be it. Generally, it's crowded out by all the good choices that you're making.
So if you're getting all your veggies in, you're getting all that stuff in,
getting everything that your body needs. Yeah, and it's something that from a psychological point of view as well, I don't think people talk enough on restrictions and diets and what impact they have on your mental well-being. I even just the thought of saying diets really just annoys me. But
because you can lose weight and be miserable. Hey, no one wants to lose weight and no one wants to be miserable.
100%.
We want to teach a healthy lifestyle that you can, where weight loss is just a side effect of it, but you're happy. That's the end result.
If you are worried about carbohydrates or energy dense carbs, I call them, you know, because fruits and vegetables are still carbohydrates. It's something that people need to understand, is you are still getting carbohydrates by consuming enough vegetables and the right amount of fruit.
Amen.
So one releases energy slowly, okay, and one is quickly. It's as simple as it needs to be. The one that releases energy quickly is when you probably, after a workout, if you really are worried about having them, but you still want to have them, okay, if you've had an intense workout especially, it would be the right time to consume those energy-dense carbs.
So post-workout, that's what we've talked about as well again at BBM. Bro, do you count calories? From Brenda, one of our team leaders.
That's an awesome question. Firstly, I know I keep going back to it, but you have to establish your why and you have to work on your habits first. Okay, if you get those two things right, and your purpose is to lose weight. Okay, my purpose isn't to lose weight. I'm not at that thing anymore. If your purpose is to lose weight and you understand your habits, you've got a strong why, okay, you know the fundamentals of eating enough fruit and vegetables and enough protein, okay, and you're still finding it hard to lose weight, then you might have to look at working on that energy balance and figuring out how much. There's a really, really cool app out there called Chronometer at the moment that's so beneficial. And what it does is it, more than anything, it teaches you calorie awareness.
What's that again, Phil? Can you spell that for me so I can type it in here?
It's called Chronometer, Chronometer.
CRON. Yep.
METER.
I mean, I've had that before. Search it on App Store, right?
For those who feel like they're at that point of their journey, once again, they've established really good habits, you know, and they want to take it up to the next level and refine what they're doing a little bit more, then it's a lot easier to work out your energy equation from there. Yep. And then,
so basically, what we're saying there is you've got to eat less than you burn. You know, and to understand that, you've got to, because one thing Alex talked to me about and yourself is that just sitting here talking right now, we're burning calories.
That's right.
Just being awake. So I think my calorie, just to stay the same, I think was about like 2,800 or 2,900 calories for my activity level.
Yeah.
My height, my age, my gender, that type of stuff. So there's all those specific things. That's just to stay the same. So then on top of that, you add, if you're quite active, you need more.
That's right.
But so you only want to be in a slight calorie deficit, right? Because if you're in too big a calorie deficit, you can't maintain it.
And it's a common mistake that a lot of people make, especially when they first start out on their journey and they do carry a bit of weight, is that their initial part of their weight loss is quite rapid, you know, and they get to a point where they get to a point when, you know, they are eating better, they're exercising more, they're starting to establish some really good habits and stuff like that. And then without them sort of realizing is that they've created this gulf between their energy expenditure and resting metabolism to what they're putting into their body. And this gulf becomes so great that they end up finding they hit this plateau level, and then weight loss from there becomes very, very hard, and you start to send your metabolism in a different direction. If that kind of makes sense, you know.
Yeah. And so, bro,
just
for people out there, if you're wondering how the hell do I find out how many calories that I need just to stay the same, and then how many calories do I need to be in just to lose because you only need you want this gradual weight loss that you can maintain.
Ideally, yeah, from a long-term perspective, absolutely. How you do that is inside that we've actually got a video tutorial that we did last year for what we put it together And
you can just Google it, can't you? Can you just Google, there's all chronometer as well, does it?
Yeah. Chronometer does it too. But
Just for a basic.
Yeah, chronometer does it as well. Yeah.
I think what we need to let the people know is that this is education, and it's bit by bit, it's the learning. Hey, Phil, it's learning. You didn't, you know so much now, but it's been a gradual process that you've educated yourself. So don't try taking too much. I'd Google a lot and go to chronometer now, and after this, and you can chuck in I think all your height, your weight, your gender, your activity level, and then it will give you a basic. And then I think you can choose that you want to lose weight, and it puts you into a slight calorie deficit.
Totally. And then all you need to do is, if you were to do that for say 2 weeks, if you were to set all your targets up, okay, you would do it for 2 weeks, as honest as you possibly can. I know that's so important. Like, quite often, myself included, not the most honest when it comes to myself and what I do on I didn't have that Easter egg over there. I didn't have that over there. I didn't go have takeaways last night. It doesn't end up in the app. Don't worry about it. It didn't count. Of course it counts. So if you can, I think the hardest part of that is you need to be as honest as you possibly can with it for it to work, for it to be a measuring for you. Now, from there is when you're able to make any adjustments up or down based on if it is working or not.
And it's just being patient with it. This is a journey. You got to find what works for you. Just with it. We got a good question here, bro. We're nearly finished. We got a good question here. Do you have any advice for those that work night shift, different hours, and eat late at night? This is a common question I get asked, bro, and it'd be great to hear your thoughts on it, because a lot of our people work night shift, work shifts, and I get asked it a lot as well. I'm coming home late at night. Do I eat? Or I'm waking up to go to work. When do I have breakfast? All that type. What I'm saying is I don't think about it breakfast, lunch, dinner. I think about it meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, meal 4, meal 5.
Totally, man. I think
what's your thoughts on it, bro? So shift work.
At the end of the day, it's an equation, right? Calorie in, calorie out. So I'll just keep going back to, as long as you're eating the right types of foods and the right amounts, then you'll lose weight. It's as simple as that, if that's what you're wanting to achieve from it.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter the time that you're eating, if you're getting up late at night to go to work, coming home in the morning to go to sleep, as long as you keep basics in.
Yeah, I think you just need to make sure that you're focused on doing the right things, and rather than it is challenging because it is upsetting your circadian rhythm or your rhythm of sleep. But
what's that circadian rhythm? That's a big word.
That's your night. That's your clock. That's your body's clock. You know what I mean? It's telling me I should start to wind down and go to sleep right now as we're having this conversation. So, from my perspective, all that person needs to do is just concentrate on putting the right types of things into your body, the right amount, and then do that consistently, and then
Cool, bro. Well, just in finishing, Phil, is there anything that you can say to someone out there that's might be feeling a bit down, through all this isolation and work the uncertainty of work? Is there any advice you can give to that person?
Firstly, I just want to share my compassion and aroha for people out there who are in this position. I feel blessed personally about where I'm at, and I think you need to stay connected to like-minded people as much as you can. I know they're the things that quite often, the cliches that get thrown around now, and just stay around positive people, connected to positive people. That's what I've done. I live on my own. I've got a daughter, but what I've done is I've just kept in touch with Dave. I've kept in touch with our Bodytorque community, whoever that represents to you, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Someone might teach you something that you can adopt here, or they might encourage you to do a workout with them. We've got this community that's sharing workouts and meal ideas and recipes, and that comes directly from being around those types of people. If you're constantly around all the news and all the bombarded of fear that I see going around the place at the moment, which is very scary. I know it's an uncertain time, but I mean, how you get through is by trying to have that positive outlook or that optimistic outlook. That's what I've been doing personally. Yeah,
Awesome.
trying to. That's about it.
Yeah, man, that's you're so right. You know, really, guys, watching what you're letting in here.
Yeah.
You know, really monitoring what's going in here. Just like we monitor what our kids are watching, we got to monitor what we're looking at. You know, because we're constantly on social media. And look, you know, if you're a member of a page that's just doing stupid stuff, you know, there's plenty of those types of pages. Leave it. You know, leave the page and really watch what's entering. Because if you're thinking you're scrolling past it, you're seeing it. Even though you might think you're not paying attention to it, it's still in your subconscious. It's still there. So, you know, really, like you're saying, keep in touch, be kind to yourself, you know, and keep in touch with positive people. Keep in touch with the positive groups. But no, thank you very much, Phil. Really appreciate it, bro. Did you want to close us with karakia, bro?
Can do.
Practicing your te reo. Beautiful, brother.
I do know this one. All right. Kinoi tātou, kia tātou katoa. Te ata whara tō tātou ariki, aihi karauti, me te aroha te atua, me te whiwhinga taitanga ki te wairua tapu, ake, amene.
Awesome. Corinne wants to know where you're learning your te reo. She just wants to know.
I'm with Matua Bruce McSheffrey, who is an amazing kayako out of Te Wānanga Aotearoa on Lincoln Road. He runs his classes, level 2 Arareo Māori, on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. He's got an amazing ahua. He's got an amazing wairua, and is just a really good, fun teacher. But he does challenge you, and that's what I've found the most beneficial.
It's working.
Pushes you outside your comfort zone, which is awesome.
Awesome, brother. Well, thank you very much, bro. Thank you for the chat. Thank you for the help. I know people have gotten a lot out of this. Stay positive. Much love, brother.
Thank you.
Much love, crew.
Pō Mārie.
Phil.